All right, guys, what's going on? Good to see you. Sorry I missed a little bit of yesterday and this morning's match here. So, one after being goalless match, um, and ended up being a really good game. Got a late goal here by Slovenia at the 69th minute, and then Jovic came in and finished off strong with a header from Illich um, in the 95th minute. So very exciting ending. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to watch. I was still listening on the radio in my truck, but hey, what are you gonna do? Um, the next thing is we have Denmark versus England coming up. And I know that this is going to be a popular one. I know that England has a lot of fans. I know that England spends the most money in the betting market. And that's why we see England as the favorite to win Euros. And it's not due to how well they play or I mean, they have an insane amount of talent on this pitch. But I think we saw from game one with Southgate, these guys are not interested and they are told not to take any chances. Um, we saw a grand total of 12 shots total from both teams in the first English game. We saw 6 shots total in the first half, um, and 3 by England. So I don't know. It's going to be hard for me to convince you guys into any sort of betting angles here. And I'm going to be honest with you. The game on betting perspective makes me the most nervous. Just can't trust England with anything. Yeah, look, Steve, that's kind of what we're going to get into here. That said, I do think that there is kind of a bargain here on England money line at minus 145. I think that that's a nice parlay piece that you can do something with. I think that this game screams under. If you like England and under 4.5 probably gets you a pretty decent bettable number here. Or England under 3.5 too. Because I just don't see Southgate and Southgate ball being attacking. They have no balls. They don't try. And it doesn't and this isn't me just slandering England. Like you can see it in the first 2 minutes. Go back, watch the first 2 minutes of the last England game. You can see Jude Bellingham clear through on a run, calling for the ball to be played out in front of him so he can break the back line. And Saka backs it out and goes to Kyle Walker twice. That ball gets played every single time at Madrid. Where this isn't Madrid. This isn't you're not this isn't Madrid. The English would rather have 70% possession and win a 1-0 game than play exciting attacking football where they score 3 or 4 goals but might concede 1 or 2. They just don't play fun football. And that's okay. That's tournament style football. That'll take them. That has the potential. I don't think it will. I don't like England. I don't think England's going to win. I don't think it's coming home, but it has the potential to take them far in the tournament versus very talented teams who are willing to take more risks in the match in knockout stages. In single elimination tournament play, this ball's set up that they can maybe go far. Save your bucks for Spain. And I completely agree here. I think you're going to find a lot more value and a lot more entertainment in the Spain Italy game. I took under 2.5 in both teams to score. No, I don't hate that, Fernando. Like I can definitely see myself being talked into both teams to score no here. A 2-piece, yeah. I mean, look, you can also take both teams to score over 2.5 no as a parlay that doesn't require them to be separated through DraftKings. So if both teams score and it ends 1-1, that would still be a bet that hits. If England somehow wants to run this up 3 or 4 nil, that's a bet that hits as well. Both teams to score over 2.5 no. And if Denmark somehow runs this up 3 or 4 nil, that's still a winning bet. I don't see Denmark doing that. But I do see value here in Denmark lines because they are going to have an opportunity. They're going to find ways to shoot and to score, especially when England eventually gets a goal. I think we see them take coming off the ball. Um, and now my buddy Bird is going back to the Phil Foden well, which I don't hate. He's saying the English media slander. No, they didn't. I completely disagree with you there, Bird. The English media didn't slander Foden. Foden played poorly. And if you don't like it, that's fine. But I can admit Foden played poorly. And it's not necessarily his fault. He didn't have the ball. England had no fucking interest in attacking after the Bellingham goal. They had zero, zilch, nada, no desire whatsoever. They played no good balls in. They had it was the most boring, crappy game of football. It was coward stuff. It was coward ball. And they won. And there's nothing else I can say about it. They played like cowards. They won. They got their 3 points. Southgate, you're vindicated. Good for you. Um, is it from an entertainment perspective? It's garbage. But yeah, look, morning. Both teams to score. Last game was sweaty. Yes, it was Cup of Joe, but Jovic came in and got you a banger header to seal the deal. So look, I'm not going to focus on slandering England here. I don't think Foden played poorly of his own accord. He just never got the ball. And if you never get the ball as an attacking winger, what are you supposed to do? When your coach tells you not to attack, again, it's not Foden. It's pure jealousy is all it is. It's Man City jealousy. It's English jealousy. They hate Jude Bellingham over there because he turned all their clubs down and said Madrid's the best in the world. Fuck you, England. And he's right. He's dead ass right. And that's what people don't like. So yeah, it's not the English media. It's not slander. It's your own fans. It's your own fans. It's you people. And you don't like to hear it. And I don't care. I don't. I really don't. So let's get into some stuff we can actually talk about here. Foden over 1.5 shots and England draw no bet combined are for -110. I fucking hate that. I'm sorry. I do. Foden touched none of the ball last game. I don't think he shot once. If he did, it doesn't matter. England only shot 6 times in the game. So if they only shoot 6 times again, you're asking for Foden to have a third of all shots for the English national team. If you want to make that bet at -110, go ahead. I'm not doing it. It's just not for me. I'm not convinced that they shoot more here. Denmark's solid. They're okay in the midfield and at the back. They're going to challenge you. They're going to make you scared to try and make a line-breaking pass because you might turn the ball over, and that's just unacceptable for England. They have to have 70% of possession. Otherwise, they consider the game a failure, and they want to take their ball and go home. Look, I don't want to make this an anti-England show because, again, I don't care. If England wants to win games 1-0, good for them. I don't care. It's just not fun. It's not fun attacking football. England double chance. Okay, see, now that makes a huge difference. That makes a massive difference. Again, I think that the shot volume is a problem there with Foden. I really do. Because I'm not convinced these guys are willing to take a single risk in this game. I'm taking both teams to score and probably under 2.5. Buckle up for a long, boring game. Love Bellingham shot on target. Yeah, Joey Pepper, I'm gonna ride the belly. Bellingham's the only guy on this team with this set of balls who's playing good attacking football. He's from Madrid. He knows what it takes to win games, and that means that you have to take chances and you have to be willing to turn the ball over and you have to capitalize on opportunities when they turn the ball over and take a chance to rip the top off this defense and let your talented, young, super speedy wingers and center guys in Bellingham playing the 10, run, just run your ass off and smoke the legs of Denmark and completely bury Christensen, Anderson, Vestergaard, guys who are 6'2" and taller that do not have the lungs and legs to run man on man with Foden, Saka, Kane, Bellingham, and just get their ass beaten to the ground because you're absolutely more physical, faster, and electric than any, you have more talent than anybody on this Denmark team. So take advantage of it and attack. And I'm not convinced that England's going to do that. I think a lot of the value here is on Denmark, and because Denmark will attack. Denmark will let England, when they have the ball, sit in a low block and try and defend. And Christian Eriksen is absolutely going to pick them apart. He plays for Man U. He knows how the English play. He's a very talented guy. He's got the armband on. He took damn near 6 shots last game. He put 4 or 5 on frame. He's the man from the penalty kick spot here. Højlund was kind of a ghost. It's not necessarily his fault, but he's clearly not the guy that people are expecting here on the Denmark team yet. But he could be later in this tournament. Right now, this is Christian Eriksen's team with Jonas Wind as a highlight. So I think there's a lot of money to be made here on Denmark, more than there is on England. Yeah, if you want to lay the juice at minus 145 on England to win the game, I think you can do that comfortably. Because I think this screams England 1-0 win with trying to have as much possession as possible, and Denmark putting in a furious activity late once England get their goal and then sit in a low block and defend. Because when they sit in that low block, they're not going to look to counter. They don't have the balls to play balls over the top. Not from what I've seen. Denmark's draw to Slovenia allows England breathing room, with England having Slovenia next. If they want to win, try to score a time. Look, yeah, it's only a second game in groups. I just don't. I haven't seen Southgate play like that, and I know that he's afraid for his job. The English job is so political. You have to listen to the media. You have to do all these things. It's a complete shit show. Only bet TAA 0.5 shots on target plus 200 on bet 365. I like that, Myron. I'm keeping it light as well. I think I'm going to max out at 1 unit on this game. And I'm going to take a bunch of pop shots at plus money stuff. And number 1 is Eriksen shot on target. Buddy of mine in Discord told me it's plus 115. Haven't shopped that number around, but if Eriksen shot on target plus money, I'm absolutely taking that for sure. It's part of my play for my 1 unit exposure. I don't even rate England as high as most, but I think this is a cakewalk for them. Okay, I can see that. I don't. Some England shot on target props under 4.5. Yep, they are conservative and will be happy as long as it's 0-0. Michael gets it. This is my buddy who writes AC Milan stuff. If you guys are into Italian Serie A, Mike's a must follow when it comes to AC Milan stuff. Very knowledgeable ball guy. I agree here with you, Mike. I think that I'm going to take some England shot on target props, some Denmark shot on target props, and I'm going to put together like a 4 or 5 leg parlay for $10. Again, my unit is $50. I'm going to keep my exposure to 1 unit maximum on this game, and I'm going to put together a long parlay that I know is probably just a donation and a lottery ticket because it's going to be fun. That's the only way I'm going to stay entertained at this game. Otherwise, I'm just going to end up cussing at my TV all game and yelling at Southgate because, again, I just don't enjoy the way the English play football. And I don't think that Denmark is going to get dominated. They have a good midfield. They have a decent back line, especially if you're not going to press them over the top through balls and try and gas their legs out. This back line's really physical, and they're huge. They're monsters. You're going to struggle on set pieces against these guys. If they're defending most of the game and without pressure, without the pressure of counterattacking football to tire out their legs, this Denmark team's rock solid in the back. You have to gas them. You have to gas them out because that's how they ended up coughing up that late goal. Is you gassed them out by just smoking them, making them sprint left, right, and center, up, down the pitch. And the subs came too late. It was poor coaching. The subs came way too late. That's why this Denmark team ended up losing or drawing. Oh, I told live on something. Erickson over 4.5 shots. Yeah, cup of coffee, $5 max. But anybody's shooting, it's him. And they're gonna try and double him. They're gonna try and take it away. He's still gonna shoot. He's clearly the backpack that drives this team. Erickson shot on target plus 137. Love it. Any plus number you get on Erickson, run it. He's the backpack. He's the only guy doing anything here. Plus 150 on DK, even better. Thank you guys for shopping these numbers. Foden to score assist with over 1.5 goals. Joe, if you like it, my buddy Bird and my buddy Stink kind of feel the same way. They feel like Foden got slandered. They feel like he was the forgotten son that everybody loves from City, and that people are demanding that he sees more of the ball. They were even demanding that they slide him inside because he's a 10 and not a winger. So he should have Jude Bellingham's role. The guy who scored your only goal and was your only attacking threat, you want him to have his spot? Okay. Okay. That's England for you. They just talk out of their ass. If you feel like that Southgate's gonna feel the pressure from those guys talking out their ass and not knowing anything about ball and are gonna force feed Foden, I kinda like it. But again, the England team took 6 whole shots last game. Where's the volume coming from? And I can like again, I don't wanna make this a lecture. I just until I see it, why am I gonna put money on it? I don't think they're gonna change. They don't need to change. They got 3 points. They gotta win. Effective. Doesn't sell tickets, doesn't put asses in the seats, doesn't make it for good gambling, gets you 3 points, and that's all that matters here. You're trying to win a title. You don't care about anything else. I don't like over 1.5 goals, to be honest with you. I think England wins this game 1-0 or it's 0-0. It could be 1-1 if Denmark somehow gets a PK or Christian Eriksen hits a worldie from outside the box. Then England's gonna have to attack and try, and there might be some live action here. I mean, this is a game that I think you should save units for live action too, because if Denmark gets a goal early against the run of play, then it's game off. Then I have no qualms going into player props and to score assist and stuff like that here for England. But until I see that or something out of England, they have no motivation to go run this score. They don't need to score. They just need to win the game. They need 3 points. Ericsson, Bellingham shot on target. I mean, yeah, yeah, I like that. I mean, yeah, pick one guy from each team plus 287. You know, Bellingham got the goal. He was the one that asked for the ball. He was the only one trying to attack. So yeah, I like that. Your 2 main guys, both for a shot on target, almost 3-1. I like that. Joe, appreciate you. Again, that's not, I'm not frustrated with you or anything you asked. I'm frustrated with England. I'm frustrated what I've seen out of them, and I'm just trying to be 100% honest with you guys. Save your money. Don't get super involved in this game pre-match. Save your money because you might find a live spot that you like. Once you start seeing how this ball is going to move around and what players are going to be getting it a lot, you might find something you like live, and you're going to get a better number on it. There's always money to be made in the live market. The problem is I don't like recommending a lot of live stuff because I take a lot of pre-match exposure. And part of that is to make content for you guys, and part of that is because I have to share it with my Discord, and it's 11:30 in the morning right now. People are at work. They don't have time to be checking their phones all the time. Live plays move quickly, things change quickly. So I tend to take a lot of pre-match exposure. I'm not going to do that this game, and I'm going to keep some ducats available for live betting. And if I don't find anything I like live, I'm going to end up throwing it on the Spain Italy game because I think that's going to be a much more profitable, lucrative game. Denmark will not control one movement at this point. Okay, look, you're an England dick rider. Okay, thanks, Hassan. I appreciate you being honest that you're an England dick rider. Good for you. Bellingham shot on target, Eriksson shot on target, over half a goal is plus 150. That seems insane. Yeah, that's a garbage number that somebody just told me on FanDuel, they have Erickson shot on target, Bellingham shot on target, almost plus 300. So this is an offshore number. I know for a fact that you built this on an offshore book because offshore books don't need your handle, whereas American sports books need your handle. They need to compete for your handle, and they need to compete for your dollar this early in the morning. So you get good lines. Draw halftime might be the love. I like that a lot, Fernando. I actually really like if you have the balls to sit there and watch the game and sweat this out, take 0-0 and look for a cash out opportunity around the 70th. Yeah, I agree with you, Fernando. 0-0 halftime definitely is a move here. I think 0-0 full game and trying to find us a cash out spot. First half draw. Again, I like that, Larry. That's kind of draw halftime, first half draw. See, you guys are seeing it. Anything you like on the corners market? I think the line is short at 8. I do think that line is short. I think that line's very short. Oh, just a shot, not shot on target. Again, Joey Pepper, 6 shots for England last match. That's all I'm saying. I like it. I think you picked the 2 right guys to take shots. I'm just telling you, the volume's not there. This is a team that won 1-0. They took 3 shots in the first half, and they took 3 shots in the second half, and they barely took 3 shots in the second half. They're content. They're content to win a game 1-0, have 70% of possession, and go home. And it's a valid tournament strategy to make a deep run in a tournament, but eventually you have to have the balls to make it. And I think that's going to be England's undoing unless they start practicing what it is to make a play. Yeah, exactly. I can't agree with you more, Panda. It's a super super boring team, at least from what I've seen so far. I've seen them play exciting games before, but it's because they're coughing up goals and they're chasing the game. If they don't feel the pressure to chase the game, they're they would rather not turn the ball over than take a single risk. Like, one of the things I love about Vinny Jr., and there's plenty of other things that, I can be critical of Vinny at times. He doesn't press well. He doesn't seem interested in defense. He makes a lot of turnovers. But when Vinny makes turnovers, it's because he's attacking you on the wing, and he's happy to turn the ball over because if he beats you, then he's free. He's on the base. He's past the back line. He's got the ball. He's the fastest man on the planet. No one's ever catching him. He's got fast as fuck support coming to back him up. And he knows that somebody's going to be home back post. So if he beats you on the dribble, you're toast. That's a goal scoring opportunity guaranteed. So I don't mind guys who are going to put you on your ass like that and make it a physical battle. And when they finally win one, your legs are smoked. You're done. It's dusted. You're over. And that's how that's attacking football versus Foden gets it, passes it back and forth to himself 2 times, then goes to Rice, who backs it out to Trippier, who puts it up the touchline to Foden, who immediately touches it over to Bellingham, who touches it back to Rice, who touches it back to Trippier. Then they reset, they cross the field, they go to Walker, who touches it up to Saka, who gets some pressure, who then backs it out to TAA, who backs it out to Walker, who then Denmark comes forward and presses you, and then you back it out to Pickford, and you reset and you start playing out of the back. That's what England's going to do. They don't take chances over the top because they can't lose the ball. They're so afraid of losing the ball that they don't take chances to score goals. A lot of corners. Yeah, I don't see a lot of corners in England games. I don't know. I think there will be corners in this one, especially if they try to attack. Denmark is fine giving up corners. Look at how monstrous this back line is. Just go look at their stats. Every guy on this back line is over 6 foot. And Denmark's really competitive in the air. I have no. I think Denmark has no problem coughing up corners. They got bigger bodies. They're more skilled in the air, and they can clear the ball out of the box pretty easily. I don't think corners scare Denmark here. again, this back line is packed with 6'2" and above monsters. Trent for a shot on target plus 220. I like that a lot. Could see him scoring from free kick. Same, but also Trippier. Like, look, I watched Trent try and line up a free kick for 2.5 minutes. It was more painful than watching the fucking grass grow, and then he slams it right into the wall. No disrespect. I know Trent's kind of a talented guy, and he's still young and he has stuff to develop. Trippier should be on every single fucking set piece after what I saw Trent do in game one. That was pathetic. That was a weak ass attempt that took 2.5 minutes to set up. It was a joke. Let Trippier take him. He's way better at set pieces. So yeah, that's a lot of English slander, and that's me trying to tell you guys how I think this English game is going to go. We've already talked about some really good and advantageous numbers. If you want to get into shots on target, either Saka shot on target minus 125, Bellingham shot on target minus 115, both playable. Don't get in over your skis here. Hoyland, again, I think we saw that he's not necessarily the guy, but Rice under zero point 0.5 shots, it's risky. What's let me see what the line on that is. Let me see Declan Rice under at minus 420. Absolutely no. Like not even as a parlay piece, no. Because Rice is a shooter. He likes to shoot. He shoots all the time for West Ham and for Arsenal. I think it's not a good piece to put into a parlay, and I'm certainly not laying minus 420 to do it on its own. It's up to you, though. Look, I can't tell you what to do, but I would say that anybody who's minus 400 not to do something, it's not guaranteed that they're not going to do it. I've watched Rice play for Arsenal and for West Ham for years. Man loves shooting. If he gets an opportunity, throw zero and they need a goal late, he's going to shoot. I'm just telling you. Christensen over 1.45 fouls. I mean, I love that. I love that. I like this whole back line. If you're getting good numbers on their foul line, Vestergaard, Anderson, Christensen, Mahaley, Hoiberg's a hack. Hoiberg's a complete hack. He's already been booked. I don't think he gets booked again because he'll get suspended. But like Hoiberg's a hack. He's gonna fall. And he's gonna flirt with the line of getting booked again for sure. Christensen too. Like Christensen's got to deal with Saka, TAA, Walker. Like this, if you can bet fouls and cards, I can't here in Michigan, but if you can bet fouls and cards in your market, this is the game. This is the game. Half of Denmark is going to pick up more than two fouls. I can almost guarantee it, including Ericsson, including Wind, including Hoyland. Like even your attackers are going to pick up fouls here. I can almost guarantee it. Look, again, cup of coffee at most, at most. And you're right. Ericsson did take 4 shots in the first half last game. You gotta remember they also played what was it? Slovenia? They also played Slovenia. That's not England. It's just not. I'm very critical of England because they think that they're the odds-on favorite to win the tournament, and I don't see it. So that's why I'm very critical of England. It's not that they're not good. Um, I mean, at plus 125, look, what you're banking on is that they get a goal early then. In my opinion, what you're banking on is that they get a goal early and that Southgate continues to tell them not to shoot. Price is a player, though. I mean, you shouldn't be turning down open shots. You just shouldn't. It's bad practice. It's bad tactics. It's bad long term if you're telling your guys to turn down open shots. And I think that if England does decide to attack today, that Rice is going to have open looks and he's going to shoot. It's a huge risk. It's up to you. Do you think that the risk is worth plus 125? I think that there's better stuff out there that you can get plus 125 on, in my personal opinion. But that doesn't mean that I'm right. I think that's a competitive number. I think that if you like versus the -400 something I saw, and that's not offshore, that's Pat Rivers. That's one of the only places for me because I don't have the 365 that offers two-way lines on this stuff. So yeah, I think that if you believe that plus 125 is worth the risk, that's a risky play, and it has a solid it has a plus money payout. So if you like it, I'm not going to try to talk you out of it. Because again, they shot 6 times last game, 6 versus a team that I thought was physical, but less skilled than Denmark. I think Denmark's got more skill and ability here to score. They've made deeper runs in a Euro tournament. Now, Ericsson's not coming off of a heart attack. They don't have, the do it for Ericsson thing behind them, but they're yeah, exactly, Myron. I'm never going like that. As long as you know that this is the same thing as going to buy a $5 scratch off, then I think you have better odds on because this is a competitive game. We understand how the ball moves. You've seen Christensen shoot 4 in the first half before, or Erickson, sorry, not Christensen. Like, I get it. Like, I think a $5 cup of coffee, a McDouble, whatever you want to call it, loose change, anything that's not going to impede your bankroll long term. These plays are. This is what it's all about. Take a couple of pop shots on a game that you don't think you're going to have a lot of interest in, and take a home run swing at something that's plus 550 or plus 2400. Like that, I can get behind all day as long as you're okay knowing worst comes to worst, I'm throwing that money in the garbage because that's what you're doing. You're buying a scratch off lottery ticket. But an educated one that you understand that what you've seen out of both of these teams so far, because we have data, we have games played. Um, England are the biggest chokers in the world. They sure are. They're up there with Tottenham. Them and Tottenham, same breath on choking. They're terrible. Same with Man U too, low key right now. Like I know you were good in the past, but that doesn't do anything for me right now. Chokers. Denmark is a public darling. Watch out for them. But watching them is so frustrating. I don't know. I kind of enjoy the way Denmark plays. I think they got out coached last game, and the subs came on too late. I think that was a winnable game. If you bring on Dolberg and a couple other guys there instead of in the 80th minute at the 65th or 70th when you're up and you're just defending and you have tired legs out there, no problem. At least like I'm saying, if you like it, I'm not going to try and talk you out of it because you're following the correct path of logic here. As you saw England play, they only took 6 shots. An under on shots is a completely legitimate play, and it's all about whether or not you think plus 125 is the right amount of payout for that kind of risk on a guy from Rice who likes to shoot from outside the box, or if a loose ball finds him, he doesn't turn down open shot opportunities. No one should. And again, I get it. There were only 6 shots. You're following the logic that I was laying out. So if you like Rice unders, I can get behind that as long as you think the price of plus 125 is fair. Because the only price I saw was minus 400, and that's not fair. Plus 125, much more fair. Win to have one shot on target the first half is plus 220. I don't hate it. Again, Eriksson and Wind are the two guys that look the most dangerous for this Denmark side. They're clearly the guys that are ready to shoulder their load for this Denmark team. So yeah, you guys asked some good questions. You pulled up some good numbers. I think that I've said my piece on how I think this is going to be a low-scoring, possession-based game for England. I think that if they don't tire out Denmark's legs by taking some chances and forcing to stretch the field, that this back line for Denmark is solid and that they're not going to have a problem on corners or aerials because they're just so tall. So yeah, I mean, I'm going to end up taking Eriksson for a shot on target here. I'm probably going to do a little parlay of England in under either 4.5 or 3.5, whatever gets me close to plus 100, is my two kind of main plays. And then I'm going to make one $5 or $10 kind of long shot parlay for fun and entertainment, and then I'm gonna say ducats, and if I see something I like live, I'm gonna shoot it off live. And otherwise, I'm perfectly content having a little extra bankroll to play with here in Spain, Italy at 3 o'clock, because I do think that we're gonna see a much more entertaining game. I think we're gonna see a much more competitive game. And again, if you are able to bet falls and cards, I think that there's a lot of defensive props that have a lot of value here. I'm just not able to bet those in Michigan. I'll happily go over them with you, and I'll do the best of my ability to get you a number on those. But yeah, if you can bet falls here, Christensen, Malley, Hoiberg, Anderson, Christensen, Vestergaard, all of those guys. Even what's his name? What? Hudgeland. I'm gonna go with Hudgeland playing there, number 21 in the center line. Look, I think everybody here is going to be falling for Denmark. Yeah, I think you have to be physical. I think you have to press into England and get in their face and make them uncomfortable and do anything you can to take the ball away from them, because the goal for them is to win the game 1-0 and have the ball 78 to 95% of the time. Um, that's what the English, and that's what this type of tournament football is designed to do. And if you want to make noise here, you have to take the ball away from them. And to take the ball away from them, you're going to have to risk falling. So I love falls. There's nobody on Denmark that I don't like falls. Hoyland is breaking my heart. Clearly too young for these moments, whether it's club or national. I don't know, dude. I don't know. I think part of it has to do with England. I think part of it has to do with the fact that I think the EPL is terrible at developing talent. The reason that they think that they're the best in the world is because they have the best TV deal and they can throw absurd amounts of money at children, literal children, and then they put the expectations of grown men to carry the weight of a club and an entire city on their back at 19 years old. I watched Hoyland absolutely ball the fuck out and be an amazing player at Atalanta. There's not as much pressure on you at Atalanta, but Atalanta played a very similar formation to what Denmark's playing, and it gave him a lot of freedom, and he played extremely, extremely well under Gasparini at Atalanta. So I like Hoyland. I just think he's in a bad situation. I think Ten Hag's a terrible manager. I think his ego is bigger than the entire Manchester United stadium, and there's nothing you can do to make a guy with an ego like that big to humble himself. The Jordan Sancho problem is a perfect example of why this guy is unfit to manage. How's he not starting? He's not. He's not more. Name me. Tell me who he's more talented than. Who's Cole Palmer more talented than in this lineup? I'll wait. Tell me whose spot you're giving him. I'll wait. Cole Palmer doesn't break this starting 11, period. As we go through card lines closing as I click. Oh, dang. Yeah, it is about that time. So over 11.5 fouls total for Denmark. Love that. I like that a lot, because then you get the opportunity of not just the guys on the pitch, the substitutes. So now you don't have to pick a player. I love that. I like team total over fouls there. 11 and a half. Easy. I can see that happening. No problem. Because, again, that's how you're going to have to play against England. You're going to have to be physical. Denmark were really underwhelming against Slovenia. Not in the first half. Not in the first 60 minutes. They were absolutely dominant, and they probably should have scored 3 or 4. They just didn't capitalize. They don't have the finishing talent. That's my opinion. I thought they looked damn good for 60 minutes, and I think the coach made a big blunder by not putting fresh legs on. That's what I hammered an hour ago. See? Good call. This is, I like getting you guys in the chat, having the same reads, having the same ideas, following the same path of logic. This is good stuff. I think that this is a really good play if you have that market available to you. And I think it's a good price, plus 105. Palmer over Trent and move Bellingham into midfield. You have an argument there. Okay, I can. You're not moving Bellingham. Period. End of story. You're not moving Bellingham. Uh, he's the only guy who's doing shit for this England team. The only guy with a fucking set of balls on him who tries to break lines and call for passes. Again, you're not moving Bellingham out of anywhere. Bellingham is the most accomplished, most decorated player in this side. Man City isn't shit. You're a blip on the radar with a bunch of oil money who won one fucking treble. Jude Bellingham starts for Real Madrid and has a UCL title and has a La Liga title. That's way more impressive than anything Foden's done, period. He starts for Madrid at 20 years old. What's your official leans for those of us who were on a motorcycle the last 30 minutes? That's awesome, Mike. Love that you were on a bike. My leans are if you talk yourself into playing the juice, England at minus 145, perfectly playable. I'm probably going to play England and under 4.5 or 3.5, whatever gets that to right around plus 100. I'm even fine with going minus 105, minus 110 on that. I don't think they're going to score a bunch. And I really like Ericsson shot on target at plus 150 over on DraftKings. I'm going to put that in right now because I know that the match is coming up and we are getting ready to kick off here. So yeah, look, I'm my personal opinion is England shot 6 times. I don't see a ton of value here in trying to hammer English shots because I don't think, I'm not convinced that they're going to play attacking football and that they're going to get 3 points and try and advance from this group. And they'll try to attack once they know they have this group secured. And I'm going to save a lot of ducats to either shoot off something live, Mike, if I see something I like, or that gives me more bankroll to play with in Spain, Italy, which again I think is going to be more competitive. I think we're going to see a lot more shots there. I think this Spanish team has definitely showed me that they're willing to take more risks and shoot more than they were last time they got together. And I like this Italy squad. This Italy squad's got something to prove. They got a chip on their shoulder. They're defending Euros champs. I think that there's going to be a lot more money to be made in Spain and Italy than there is here. But Ericsson shot on target for sure at plus 150 is a play for me. And England and unders, and then maybe look for something live. And I don't say that super often because most of what I do by making this sort of content is exposure pre kick. So I don't tend to tell people to do stuff live a lot because I have a lot of my bankroll tied up in pre-match bets. I'm willing to live and die with my pre-match bets than to sacrifice my bankroll and double down on something that might be a losing position or that I didn't like, you know. So that's just kind of my thing. Trent is a disaster in midfield. Rice, Bellingham are running around like dogs trying to cover for him. Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree. I think Trent Alexander, I think he's super overblown and underdeveloped. I think he has a ton of talent. I don't think he's at the right place to develop that talent. I'm gonna skip this one. I mean, Joe, look again. It's not a bad call. Like, I'm not trying to force you guys into not making plays here. I'm just trying to be realistic and keep your expectations realistic. People who think that England is going to suddenly shoot 30 times this game, I have to ask, what were you watching that makes you confident in that? Because I watched the whole game. I have no confidence that they're going to just start trying to run it up. Ericsson plus 150, locking it in now. And then I'm not even gonna shop around because it's too close. This stream went on way longer than I wanted it to, guys, and I feel bad because it may have turned into an anti-England slander off, and that wasn't my intention here. I just need you guys to be very realistic with your expectations from a team that shot 6 times and won a game 1-0. England could play for 2 draws in advance. Exactly here, Mike. Like These guys aren't interested in bringing you an entertainment product. They're interested in winning in advance. England in under 3.5 plus 100. I'm gonna lock that in. For not a lot of money either. Like I'm putting point zero 0.02 units on it. I have point zero 0.04 units on Ericsson to hit the rectangle because he's clearly the guy. He's got the armband. He's taking PKs. Um, it's Ericsson's team. It's Ericsson's world in Denmark, and everybody else is just living in it. Nothing about the first game gives me that comfort. Good, good from the perspective that you watched and you learned, and now you're going to be more aware and protective of your bankroll. This England team isn't the team to make a big same game parlay on with. Harry Kane to score, Saka to score an assist, Rice to have a shot on target, Trippier shot, Ericsson falls, whatever. Like this isn't the game for that, in my opinion. It's because I didn't see it, and I haven't seen it in a while from England. Until they show me otherwise, I'm not comfortable telling you guys to put your money on it because I'm not putting my money on it. Listen to your gut, Joe. If you're closer to passing than you are to making bets, there's nothing wrong in passing. There's going to be another game in 3 hours. Game started too, by the way. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. I'm going to cut this off. This definitely went longer than I thought it would. I hope that it wasn't as anti-England as it appeared. England's doing a good job. They're getting 3 points. They're advancing. Again, I think that this is going to be kind of a boring game, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. All right. I'm out. Peace, deuces. Enjoy the game. I gotta get it on TV right now so I can end this live stream and go watch. So thank you for tuning in. I will be back at 2:15. Talk Spain versus Italy. Be sure to like and subscribe here on YouTube. It really does help me out. And if you want, join the Discord. Blah blah blah. Deuces.